I don't know how to feel about this. I'm straight up not sure how to feel about any of this. I am really boggled up in here. I'm super boggled. Like, so Zack lives, but Zack is the guy who makes Cloud into the person that he is, right? Because he dies. So if he's dead, Cloud becomes Cloud. But now, like, somehow in this weird thing, Zack's alive? So if Zack's alive and gets with Aerith, but how is he going to be alive after... Because that's all in the past. Oh my god. How does this work? He doesn't die. I don't understand how it works. You know, the whole thing is about the ghosts want everything to be Final Fantasy VII Original, but then they die. They get blown up. They get blown the fuck up, right? Nomura blows the fuck out of the Final Fantasy VII purists. Like me. I don't know. I mean, I thought I was. I thought this was a fucking remake. I thought this was a remake, not whatever we just got. Wow. I could see why Croker was kind of upset about this part. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Not really sure how to feel. I really don't think... Oh, hold on. No, forget it. It's still going. It sucks. It sucks the big ass. Oh, boy. I guess it's still doing... I guess the objective is still the same at this point in the original game, right? I guess their objective's still the same, but, you know, some people live that died, and Zack won't be dead. He'll be around and part of the story. The thing I find interesting about this Zack thing is that he was not a part of the original, but he was kind of intentioned to be the origin of Cloud, right? Because he passes on the big sword. So what are they going to do now? That he's, I guess, kicking around? And then Aerith in him? Like, it sucks the big ass. You know, I think I'm willing to say that I am so confused about what they're doing here that I don't even know if it sucks. Nomura has made it so weird that I'm not even sure what to be angry about or what not to be angry about. I just don't know anymore. I should be kind of upset because they really changed the original story, right? And the original story was pretty cool. But they're basically saying the original story is something that happened, but somehow Sephiroth changed fate. Or it went back in time and tried to make the ghosts... Tried to fight the ghosts, I guess. Because the ghosts weren't his allies. The changes are done badly. It kind of feels like there's not quite some connecting points, but... I guess there's just... It kind of... Oh. You know what this feels like? It feels like something a Kingdom Hearts title would have had. This feels like if Kingdom Hearts tried to make a Final Fantasy VII. Doesn't it? I feel like there's quite a lot of parallels between the Kingdom Hearts stuff and what they're doing in this, and what they did in this game. Okay, I'm gonna unmute, because maybe we got some more shit going on here. Although that seemed like the credits were not very long at all. I feel like the credits are gonna go much longer. But there might be a stinger or something here. Okay, forget it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I need someone to walk me through what the hell is really happening. Because, like, that's Sephiroth trying to change history. He's going back and trying to change shit up. He's just fucking doing shit. So... I can't really... it's conflicting what we know in the original with what's going down here, right? The player can have a little bit of Sephiroth as a treat. I guess. Like, and so I'm kind of upset too because like the whole story is really just, hey, remember Final Fantasy VII? Well, this is not going to be the same. It's going to be different. It's going to be kind of the same because they're in the same direction, but the reasons, I guess, are going to be different. And that's been the whole thing. But like, I don't know, things were different, and I'm like, okay, different. But at the end of the day, well, there are some really different motivating factors now. We can't put out a Final Fantasy VII without Sephiroth appearing in it more than anything else. It kind of feels that way, but I guess that part doesn't bother me so much because Sephiroth is an identity of 7, right? I mean, Cloud and Sephiroth... Final Fantasy has always had the dark and the light, right? Chaos and order, whatever. It's always been the two parallels, right? You can't have Cloud, who represents, you know, determination and whatever that is, and then Sephiroth, who's like maniacal, you know, planet power hungry or whatever. You know, you got your two opposing sides. I can get why they needed to bring them two in here. I just don't understand why they're trying to split. You shouldn't have split your game into 7,000 parts. The problem I just don't understand is why. I guess I just don't get why. Like, Sephiroth went back in time to to change how everything plays out, and then that in itself becomes the threat. So rather than chasing down Sephiroth because he's trying to basically destroy the planet, he's trying to undo his failure? Is that it? Is it a time thing? He's going back in time? How? And what about, like, This leaves a lot of unanswered questions, and I think that's probably intended because this is only one part of the game. The truth is we haven't beaten... We've beaten the game, but we haven't finished the story. We've beaten the game, but we haven't finished the story. Maybe that's why I'm kind of sitting here so puzzled about where things are going right now. It's just like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we don't have all the parts, right? We just have this kind of open-ended segment that is really quite difficult to figure out what's happening there. You know, we're seeing all these cutscenes. You know, as a game, oh boy, the story is one thing, but as a game, there was a lot of padding. Maybe they could have spent more time flushing out what they were trying to do, because it feels like they just Nomura or whoever's doing this feels like he's just rushing everything at the end of the thing, and he's supposed to surprise you. Like, hey, big surprise! You beat the fucking grognards that said that Final Fantasy VII can't be different. Congrats, you beat them. And it's like, it's a moment, you know? It's like a big turning moment in the game. I feel like they should not have made that the end result. They should have made that earlier and then tried to connect and explain what's happening in terms of this, I guess, timeline, this version, this alternate dimension or whatever, compared to whatever the other one is or was. And I'm only assuming there's some sort of alternate timeline, you know, dimension thing happening here because, you know, there was that moment where Cloud was talking to himself, right, in that big white empty space, and that could have been a different time era Cloud talking to himself or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing that these things would do. This sort of time fuckery, dimensional shifts. I can only assume. I guess my problem right now is it's so incomplete. It's incomplete, and I don't really get it. I'm upset that there was all this padding in this game when they could have been talking about this sort of thing. They really just dump it on you at the end and been like, all right, you're out of here. Like, there you go. You're away from Midgard now. But, like, where's Cloud gonna go? Like, where are they gonna go? What do they even do now? Yeah, I don't know. Uh, I guess I'm pretty disappointed. I guess I'm disappointed. I was really hoping for more. I was hoping for more of a nice package coming out into the next game, but they really just sort of they just blew the whole thing wide apart. You know, they were doing so good up until this last part. Everything that played out was just very. It was different, but it was close to what it was the same path, right? The same direction. In a lot of ways, almost very specific direction. But this last part is basically saying. I guess they're basically saying that everything is going to be different from here on out. They're not going to even try to replicate the rest of Final Fantasy VII from this point out, I guess is what it's going to be. It's just going to be its own story, its own tale or something. This story thing, like, the problem is I'm not even really, like, I'm not super duper Final Fantasy VII. Like, I don't remember a great deal of it. I just remember the general time that I had playing it as when I was younger. And this game really didn't do anything to, like, take me back there. You know what I mean? Like, other than, like, oh, it's Cloud and all this stuff, it is cool to see the story play out with this level of technology behind it. I like that a lot. So that was cool, but the Advent Children angle on it was a little bit weird, a little bit much, but at the same time, that's the style of what Seven's about, right? That's just kind of what they went with Seven, so I guess that doesn't bother me too much. Everything is just very lukewarm, right? Like, I'm not opposed to a great. What is that cat? Why did they show the cat? It's not like I'm, like, opposed to a lot of this. It's just more like really unexpected. I was really unexpected. I guess I was just expecting more Final Fantasy VII ism, but it just kind of blew it all out at the end, and now I'm like, ooh. I don't like how I feel right now. I don't like it, but I think it's really just because I don't know what they're going to do with the next one. And now it's like, uh-oh. You know, now that the ghosts aren't there to keep things kind of in check. But the ghost thing was really kind of silly, too. Just even having these Grognar ghosts being like, no, you have to do what Final Fantasy VII did. You know? It's like... I kind of feel like if you were a purist, this game would be extremely offensive. I think this game is really frustrating for someone who deeply loved Final Fantasy VII and knew everything about it. I think this shits on the things that make the original nice and unique. I think story-wise, I think that's what it did. But I guess I'm okay with them doing some weird shit, I guess. My only problem right now is it does feel like Kingdom Hearts, right? It feels like a Kingdom Hearts story on Final Fantasy VII. Like, this could have been a whole Kingdom Hearts version of it. And it's weird. It feels weird. I don't really know. I mean, so the story has me kind of for a loop, right? But if we talk about this as a game, right? Like a game that you're going to pick up and play. It plays all right. It does have a Kingdom Hearts kind of style going to it, which is not a problem. The combat is pretty engaging because it looks impactful, and I like the tactics of crushing things and yada yada and everything. I enjoy that part of it. So combat was actually pretty okay that way. I wish there was a little bit more to it, but I like that enemies' weaknesses and the materia. Everybody can be, you could cast, you could have a weapon and all that shit, the tweak if you're spells, if you're melee, and we all got to play both because we played with all the weapons. I think ultimately it was a better Kingdom Hearts. I think it was a better Kingdom Hearts than any of the others. So I like that. I like that system, and I don't feel amiss that it was not turn-based or anything. I actually like. I feel the combat system's reasonable and a little more engaging, so I'm okay with that. I don't even care about 7 much, which is why I didn't care to buy the remake. The end sequel just sucked all the asses in the room. I can see that being a big problem. I mean, I can see that being a big problem. I guess personally, I don't know. I guess I'm just so in the middle of like I don't know which way to go because the next game could like really resolve any kind of big issue I have in that they're just sort of flying out the gate with whatever now, you know? Now it's like, oh, fate has been destroyed. The Grognards don't get a say. Fuck it. You know, we're going to have him show up in a G-string and rescue the fucking hobbits. You know, he's going to show up in Lord of the Rings tomorrow. Like, oh, man. The next game doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess, but at the same time, it's going to exist. I mean, it's gonna exist. There's no way this game didn't sell, you know, millions and millions. There's no way people aren't expecting another remake too. Even if this game flopped, I don't see how they could possibly not make a sequel. In like 6 years, I don't know. I mean, it could. Yeah, that's the problem, right? I beat episode 1. I don't know what episode 2, 3... It is only 3, right? Or is it more? I think they said there was going to be 6 of them, didn't they? Oh, boy. I'm just kind of confused about all the padding in there when this ending could have been more of a gradual reaching point. But I think they just wanted to, surprise, ghosts. They're bad, they're groggy and, you know, old and they're bad, and you shouldn't like old Final Fantasy VII. You should like new Final Fantasy VII and go out into the world and fucking have sex. I don't know. I get that vibe, though. I get that vibe. It just feels weird. As a game, though, I feel like I am strongly in the pretty good category. I wouldn't say good. Pretty good. I'd say it's a pretty good game. Just pretty good if you're into an RPG. Okay, hold up. Let's go ahead and get this whole... I got this unmuted. Let's see if anything weird goes down. I don't really think so. Chapter select, okay. Replay any chapter using your current, okay. Uncompleted quests, story elements you missed. More thoroughly explore Midgar. Hard difficulty. Items can be used. Only hit points restored at rest spots. Oh, items can't be used and only hit point is restored. However, certain manuscripts are only available in this. How do you get your mana back if you don't ever get it back? How do you restore mana? Oh, you know, the characters regen mana gradually, so that's probably how they intend it. A record of your adventure can be from system playlog. Information from battle records to story branches. Bonus XP. Twice XP, 3 times AP. Combat Simulator and Hojo's Lab. Skipping the bike minigame. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and save. Yeah, 1/10 of an RPG. It's weird to say that because I spent over 40 hours on this game. It took me 41 hours to beat this game. That's like old school RPG area. I mean, I wouldn't spend a whole lot more than that. 40-hour game, dude. Didn't even have an MGS style post-credit scene, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. This has been something else. What happens if we... if you go to replay, be advised that if you return data and subsequent, yeah, okay. But I have it here now, so I can always do it. Yeah, I mean, I guess boy, I'm really confused. I don't know how to say it. I think I'm upset. And maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. I am bummed out. Like that is not an ending. That's not a to be continued section that I thought was gonna happen. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna play out differently. The whole Zack thing has me really curious because he's such an integral part of the backstory. Now he's been thrusted into current affairs. And that leaves me wondering what in the world. I mean, they're gonna do some weird time stuff, right? Like, is past Cloud gonna talk to future Cloud? Is Advent Children Cloud gonna come by and talk to original Final Fantasy VII Cloud, who's the different than Advent Children Cloud, who maybe is even different from the Final Fantasy Fighting Versus game that they had on the PlayStation Vita? You know, maybe that Cloud's totally different. A Kingdom Hearts Cloud could be different. You know, they can all come together and fucking. I don't even know. I don't even know. As a game, so the thing is I'm really like wrapped up about this story, but if I take the story part out, right, it's still an RPG. It still plays like a modern RPG. I like the materia system. I think that's cool. I like the weapons. I like the animations. I like the gear. This it looks like a good game. It visually very reasonably pleasing to the senses when I was playing this game. I was hooked. Tifa is fucking gorgeous. Waifu for lifeu right there. Boy. For a game, I really do think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good game. Like anybody could pick it up, have a reasonable time, and if it's for them, if it's something where they're just like, yeah, I really like where things are going, I can see them having a good time for most of those 40 hours. I think it's a fair game. I think it's a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it's good, especially because the story thing is really starting to drag me down the more I think about it. But it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. As a game. Just as a game. I think it's pretty good. Tifa doesn't have kidneys? No, probably not. Yeah, they work at a bar. It probably wouldn't have it. That's alright. She's got... her kidneys are actually in her titties. That's why they're so big. Man, what else is... This game has been such... You know, the big part is I have so much to read about now because this game has been such a huge thing for the last several weeks since it came out. You know, I'm seeing things all over the internet about this game, like it sold a ton and yada yada. And I mean, there's a huge amount of hate for the ending that now I get, but there's also a lot of praise for where the next game could be picked up. And there was that Zack thing. I feel like there's going to be a lot of appreciation for that because I'm pretty sure Zack is like a huge fan favorite for the Goyles. I think Zack is like hugely rated on the chicks that love Final Fantasy in Japan. I think they love that character. So having him rolled into the game now that he's coming into it like on his own and stuff, which I guess I can't be like too weirded because he's a pretty pivotal moment for Cloud, but I mean, Aerith is gonna live. I guess Aerith has to live now, right? Because the ghosts have been beaten, so Aerith has to walk around. And Barrett didn't die because of that or something, but now he could. I mean, Biggs is alive. I don't know about the other two though, right? We got confirmation for Biggs, but I don't know if. Wedge is still around. He kind of got sucked into some darkness. Jessie, we haven't seen anything about her. Fucking, man, she was fucking thirsty. She was fucking looking for a tall glass of Cloud for like that really more than first half of the game. Yeah, man. Jessie the goat. I'm afraid it's Tifa. I'm afraid she's... Look, I've seen nudes of her, alright? I've already seen the naked model. She looks fine, but it just doesn't compare to good old Tifa. She's too good, man. She's way too good. You know, I would like to see the Golden Saucer. This whole time, really, I'm like, I want to see the Golden Saucer, you know? That's really what I want. I want the Golden Saucer. I want it to be a really cool... Tons of mini games. The mini games in this one were really quite garbage, weren't they? They were really garbage. The dart game and fucking lifting weights and shit. Like, cool ideas, but the little mini games that you do with them were like, whatever. Let's just get it out of the way. Give me my fucking championship belt. God, what else? I am so curious what dudes like Maximilian must be sucking this game's dick so hard. I can't help but think that he is, because he's such a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII. Even if he was disappointed in his story, I think he'd be fucking all over it. You know what I mean? Like, cause he'd just be so happy that he's getting, this kind of technical level for a Final Fantasy VII rendition. Like, and it almost seems like it's some kind of like it could very well be like a sequel, right? Because they've folded in. This could be more like a sequel to Final Fantasy VII, right? Because they folded in all that stuff. They're absorbing all the content from the other shit with Zack and everything. So, I mean, it clearly Advent Children was referenced a number of times with the one wing and everything popping out. Jeez. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm left with a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, and I actually think I'm just really thankful right now that I'm not that much of a Seven fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. Seven was absolutely phenomenal when me and my brother played it. It was revolutionary. It was amazing. For me, Chrono Trigger was still cooler, but watching the shift from what we had to Final Fantasy VII was just amazing. This game doesn't even come close. This game doesn't even begin. It doesn't even begin to approach that same reverence. It's nowhere near. It's just, honestly, it's just another game, right? It's just another game, but it's dressed in Final Fantasy VII. That's all. That's cool. I mean, it's cool seeing a Final Fantasy VII in today's modern technology, but it's a totally different experience than playing the original, especially when it came out at that time. That's the biggest thing. This thing does nothing to capture any of that. Not even close. It's not even close. It's not like within the first hour of playing the game, it's just like it's its own thing. It's doing its own thing, and it's just skinned in something that we've seen before. It's weird. It's really weird. I'd like to know what other people are thinking. Welcome to modern gaming, right? Well, I mean, in this case, it's specifically to... The thing is like, are they specifically pandering to Final Fantasy VII dudes? Because I'm pretty sure they just lost those guys. I'm pretty sure that ending fucking blew that ass out. Like, there's no way dudes that are into Final Fantasy VII are happy right now. But dudes like Maximilian, who are super fucking fans, I'm sure that they are excited for the next one. But I can't think of them as being particularly happy right now. I don't think it feels good, because it feels kind of like they're trying to invalidate the actual 7, the original 7, and I don't think I like that. I don't really want them like reimagining 7. 7 was good. If you wanted to add to it, sure. If you wanted to like side hoe it, whatever. But it kind of feels like they're taking it all under the wing of this game, and they're just gonna try and like go from there. I guess I just don't really understand it. But boy, I'm happy to have beaten this game. I'm really happy to have beaten this game. It took, 40 hours, 41 hours almost. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of time. How many times have I thought I was on the finale for this motherfucking thing? And I've been streaming for 5 hours, and it's been, oh my god. Like, the last 3 streams I had finale incoming, and I wasn't even fucking close. I was nowhere near the end. 5 hours? I gotta tell you though, I'm gonna miss looking at this girl. You realize that this is a really... Everybody was losing their shit about this Goyle right here, about how her titties are too small. She's got this under sport bra that's going on. I feel she is utterly well put together. I feel like her clothes, her ensemble, her costume, her hair, her facial structure, I don't know, man, but this it doesn't take a whole lot to please this man, but this is a perfectly beautiful Tifa to me. I have no qualms with this Tifa. Tits are fine. The shirt with the underboob thing is fine. I mean, be nice if they're a little more fan service, but I believe I chose the wrong costume for that. Whatever. I'm really pleased with that. Barrett looks cool. Cloud looks emo. I mean, yeah, it was 4 streams. It was 4 fucking streams of that shit. What else is there to say about this, dude? Like, I mean, clearly there's some endgame content you can do, but no, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna need some time to really digest on this one, but I'm so glad to beat this, get my thoughts out, you know, because honestly, when you first beat a game, you're so full of stuff, right? You're so full of like happiness, there's the afterglow, you know, and so like my thoughts are all jumbled up. And normally it's a great time for me to review a game because I've freshly latched on to either the really good things and or the really bad things, and I can just verbally barf it right into the stream. On this one, I really have a hard time really grabbing something and just holding it up really high. You know, whether it's bad or good. The ending, I can just be like, look how fucking weird this is. That's all I can really do, is hold up this shit with the ghosts and Sephiroth and all this and just be like, this is fucking whack. Like, what is going on? Like, that's how I feel. It's weird, and I want to say it's whack because it's weird. That's really the only thing I can take away from it. The combat is, you know, it's a Kingdom Hearts thing. It's cool, but it's just a Kingdom Hearts thing, and yeah, I mean, the locales were, to be honest, the locations were sort of whack, right? Like, I don't know, I don't really, there's, the old one had really cool setting and things like that. This one does a pretty good job of recreating it, but I don't feel like I'm going to remember a lot of locales in this game very well. I've never really, I guess I never really remembered it that well in the original, though. So, in 10 is where I really remember. Final Fantasy 10, I remember a good deal about that, and the locales and stuff. It was such a colorful game, and it was very saturated, you know? It just, a lot of shit popped out to me when I played 10. Nothing's ever really captured, like, the environment in that way. It made things look really interesting to me. This one's definitely very grimy. Since it's in Midgard, you know, it's very grimy. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, right. Play Final Fantasy X Remaster now. If I do that, I'm going to have to play all the X, you know, 1, 2, 3s, dash 2s, dash 3s, the fucking, with the weird singing diva girls or whatever. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. The whole scene in this game where Cloud was dancing with that gay guy, like fucking, and Aerith is like getting all fucking hyped about it and shit. Oh boy. I don't even understand. There's so much weird padding in this game that they didn't need. If they were going to do this kind of a story, they could have focused on that a while ago and given me more intel on what's happening. But instead, it's just like, hey, look, Zack is here. He saw Aerith, and they smelled each other, and then they walked past, and Biggs is alive. The plate fell. I don't really know what's going on, but